Hey, yo, what up? So, I'm going to review this book I just finished called An American Sickness by Elizabeth Rosenthal. First off, my rating for it will be I would say 4 out of 5 stars. It's not really my cup of tea because it's nonfiction, and the type of nonfiction I don't really fuck with because it's real heavy on the facts and figures. Kind of reads like a long research paper. Or a bunch of long research paper, and I typically read, if I'm gonna read nonfiction, it's still on the theoretical idea for dry philosophy side. But that doesn't mean this book is bad at all. It's just for people, if you fuck with facts, figures, a lot of hard data. For example, something we all sort of know is epinephrine, or EpiPen's increasing, blah blah. Basically, the synopsis is the goal of the book is she's arguing that healthcare is fucked up and the system is broken, and her claim is that we should move towards a more affordable, patient-centered, evidence-based healthcare system. And so a lot of the book goes over basically just a lot of the ways in which the healthcare industry is completely broken, from shit that sounds like a monopoly of or actually Illuminati of doctors, but not even a conspiracy way. She's just pointing out how money controls and influences everything, and if you just have a basic understanding of economics and where we are in late stage capitalism, none of this should surprise you at all. And it's not painting doctors as bad, but it does talk about ways in which Adam Smith said the free hand of the market. I think it's mostly where we're at now is a gun pointing at your head to make money, be competitive, blah blah. So anyways, pros of the book: if you read this book, you will definitely come out better on top to be a more well-informed patient and consumer medical care. There's even an index in the appendix. She goes over different sources you can use, but also within the book she talks about not only ways that she thinks healthcare could be better, but even just practical stuff, when you're visiting, if you're hospitalized or whatever, that you can ask for an itemized bill, and that she explains how it takes off, it could cut your medical bill in half because of the way billing and shit is set up. And I'm saying this as a medical professional. I've been an EMT. I started off in facility transport, and then I worked as a phlebotomist for a drug study company. Then I worked 911. And now I work in emergency room trauma center. So I've been doing this shit for 11 years. So it's not like I'm shooting myself in the foot, but kind of am. And not to diss anybody I work with or whatever, because it's an infrastructure problem. It's an industry problem. It's not one. You don't know a doctor necessarily. You don't know even someone that works on the economic side of the healthcare industry that's an evil person or whatever. It's just the way the shit is set up. I expected to hear a little bit more about Big Pharma. Quote, Big Pharma. Like I said, this book doesn't give me conspiracy vibes at all, which is cool. But yeah, if you have heard that before and you're unaware of it, you should definitely be more open to hearing about that. And like I said, I think that this book is good because it gives a lot of hard data, but honestly, it's just talking about the shit that I'm always talking about, which is capitalism sucks, competition sucks, greed, all that shit is ingrained into our society, and people that praise competition and getting money and grinding really don't understand how a lot of shit is really killing our species. Any criticisms I have for the book are, one, so she did a good job. lets you know, because the nature of the book, you're like, who are you working for? Blah blah. The author is an MD, I think, from a good school that has spent some years working in the healthcare field, like actually practicing medicine. So you're like, whose payroll is she on? And I don't know if I don't remember if she said she worked for Kaiser or is affiliated with whatever Kaiser or whatever. But there's two things she says towards the end of the book, like healthcare structures that are like doing okay. One is Kaiser HMO. Now, I've been a Kaiser patient before. I'm not anymore. I didn't have any problems. A lot of people I know shit on Kaiser that work in the medical field. They don't like fuck with Kaiser. I can't give you like any definitive like opinion on Kaiser. But what I can give is the second thing. She's like was praising the VA, and I'm from Los Angeles, California. There ain't no VA I've ever heard of as being good. The VA has typically been one of the criticisms that we have towards how our country takes care of veterans. I have heard from a friend that lives on the other side of the country, I think it's like in Virginia or something, that their VA actually was tight, and she was an engineer, so she worked on like high-end prosthetics. So I thought that was like a little bit strange, or at least a little bit ill-informed. So yeah, this book, the reason I read it is because it was recommended by NPR, is like on a New York Times bestseller list. I read it super fast, so like I listened to it actually on audiobook. So I can't give you a good gauge on like how, if it's like extra long or extra short. I think originally it's supposed to be 14 hours, but I listened to my shit on like ×2. So I knocked it out pretty quick. Other than that, that's my book review, and thanks for watching.